Happy Easter Sunday. It's April the 9th, 2023. I am Lights Camera Jackson and welcome to LCJ Live. Wow, Super Mario Brothers movie is a phenomenon right now. $205 million Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today. That is far bigger than anyone expected it to do, than I expected it to do. I thought it'd get to 150, even by tomorrow night 150. It's already, by the end of the day today, going to be at 205. Wow. I predicted Wednesday after I saw the movie, and it was a crowded showing with lots of kids under the age of 5 who aren't even in school yet. I thought, all right, this is going to make $500 million domestically. And it still needs another $300 million to do that, but I think it's going to get there unless the drop is just outrageously high next weekend and everybody needed to go now. But look at this, $205 million, 204.6 Wednesday through tonight. For the 3-day, 146.4. That is just Friday, Saturday, and today. That is the second biggest opening weekend ever for an animated movie, behind Incredibles 2 from 2018, which opened to 182.7. I don't count the 2019 Lion King movie as a legitimate animated film. The Hollywood Foreign Press did at the Golden Globes, but I don't. So I don't see that 191.8 as really counting as an animated movie. I see The Lion King as a live-action redo, remake, the reimaginings. We got some comments already. Brandon Heaton, Mario was really good. Love Illumination. Illumination doing so well in this pandemic, post-pandemic period. Sing 2, Minions: The Rise of Gru, which is totaled $369.5 million. And now this, Illumination is on fire, and they've got Migration coming out this Christmas. Does the success of Mario movie make you pessimistic about the state of cinema? Look, people are going to the movies, people of all ages. When I came out of this movie the other day, and I realized everybody of all ages is going to go to this film, that is so rare these days for any movie to attract the under 5 crowd to the 90-year-old plus crowd. And this movie is going to capture everybody because the love of these characters. Theaters are doing really well. Look at Air. Air, $20 million from Wednesday to tonight. $20.2 million, $14.5 million for the 3-day is a lot better. There were estimates of maybe 10 million, maybe 12 million. Could have done 15. It did 20. Wow. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Viola Davis. This cast is so strong. The story's so interesting, and adults needed to go see this out of the gate. And it's a good movie. And Mario's a fun movie, too. So you have 2 quality movies that are drawing people into the cinemas on this Easter weekend. I think theaters are going to continue to do well. We had Mega Movie March, and then boom, this April with Air and Mario, especially, just unbelievable results. Truly unbelievable. What Mario does is it passes Finding Dory, which opened to $135 million for its Friday through Sunday back in 2016. So it's the second biggest animated open of all time. You had other gigantic movies, of course, Frozen 2 with 130, Shrek the Third 122, Toy Story 4 with 121, the Minions movies, other Shrek movies could not get to this 146 that Mario just did, bam, like that. Looks like Mario also going to pass Frozen 2 for the biggest opening weekend worldwide ever for an animated movie with $377 million. Frozen 2 in 2019 did $358.5. Boom! And look, this movie does not have major competition for quite a while. There are a couple other family movies, animated movies that are coming out. This film called Rally Road Racers that's coming out May 12th. Also Little Mermaid, of course, on May 26th. But not a lot for families until The Little Mermaid. Some families will go to Guardians of the Galaxy. Some may even go to Fast and Furious 10, maybe not. But when you look at major animated movies, the next one, of course, is Spider-Verse on June 2nd. 2 weeks later, Pixar's Elemental, June 16. And 2 weeks after that, on June 30, is DreamWorks' Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. Mario is going to dominate the theaters for families until June 2nd, when Spider-Verse comes out. And I think it'll get to $500 million. Unless the drop is just outrageously gigantic. I don't see that happening. I see repeat business for a movie that's 90 minutes long and can be on a bunch of screens and have a bunch of showtimes per day. Happy Easter, Jackson says, Pizza Man CJM, who is seeing Mario today. Very good. Enjoy it, and happy Easter to you as well. Yeah, what a start for Mario. Universal, look, Universal also in this pandemic period with DreamWorks animated movies like The Bad Guys, which made close to $100 million, and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which just crossed the 185 million mark, which Mario passes today in its 5th day. Pretty amazing. Yeah. Wow. And you know what's really interesting? You, of course, have this iconic battle between Nintendo and Sega. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 opened this exact weekend a year ago. It didn't have a 5-day start, but it had a 3-day start of 74 million, something in that department. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 totaled 191 million domestically, which Mario is going to pass today in day 5 of its release. So Nintendo beating Sega still all these years later. Of course, we're going to get Sonic the Hedgehog 3 in Christmas of 2024, but they got to be going, oh my gosh, look at this. Incredible, incredible. Now look, when you look at numbers 2, 3, and 4 for the box office this weekend, it's a literal tie. 3-way tie. John Wick Chapter 4 is estimating 14.6 million. Air and Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves are estimating 14.5 million. So when all is said and done Monday, maybe even Tuesday, depending on the holiday, we could have Air at number 2, we could have John Wick at number 2, we could have Dungeons & Dragons at number 2. But for now, I'll say Air is at 14.5, it's at 20.2 million total in the 5-day. John Wick Chapter 4, 14.6 million this weekend. It's at 147.1. I want to comment on John Wick in a second. Dungeons & Dragons, 14.5 million. After 10 days, it's at 62.3. I don't know if Dungeons & Dragons is going to get to 100 million domestically at this point. John Wick is at 147. It needs another $24.5 million to pass John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. And because it had such a big drop last weekend from 73.5 down to 28 or 26, it was a bigger drop than I expected. I think a bigger drop than a lot of people expected. 14.6, so it dropped about half this weekend. Easter Monday box office will help. It'll get it over 150. It still needs another 21 million and change. I think it's going to do it, but John Wick and Lionsgate are going to sweat this one out because I think they expected a $200 million guaranteed total, especially off of the 73.5 start. And they may not get to, I don't think they're going to get to 200 million at this point. They're not. But they need to get past that 171 and change mark of John Wick 3. But it's going to be tougher than they expected. So I think it's going to happen. But it's going to take another week and a half to 2 weeks at least, I think, to get to that mark. We will see what happens. They don't want an Ant-Man Disney situation where this new one had a much bigger start than the other ones and is yet going to fall short of the second movie. And that's what's happening with Ant-Man, which is going to come a couple million bucks short of the 2018 Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, even though it had a much, much bigger start. I don't think John Wick is going to fall short of number 3, but Lionsgate is going to sweat this one out. We have another tie, 3.3 million each for His Only Son, which is up to 11 million, and Scream 6, which is up to 103.9 million. We know it passed the last one. It seems like it's going to pass the other ones in the franchise, adjusted for inflation, not adjusted for inflation. Paramount's got to be thinking about another Scream movie. Are they thinking about another Dungeons & Dragons? Not sure at this point, but another Scream movie they can probably look into for sure. Creed 3 added 2.8 million. It passed 150 million. It's at 153.3. MGM and Amazon riding high with this, riding high with Air. Absolutely, they got to be thinking about Creed 4. Shazam added 1.6 million this weekend. It's at 56.6. 10th place this weekend, a film called 1001, which made 600,000. It's at 2.9 million after 10 days. A film called Showing Up with Michelle Williams was in 4 theaters this weekend, $67,000. And the number 9 movie this weekend is Paint. Paint made 750,000 in 819 theaters, close to $1,000 per screen average. Paint was filmed right near me in upstate New York. Half the movie takes place at the PBS station that I interned at in my senior year of high school. That's not far away from me. A lot of it was not far away from me in Saratoga, New York, and some of it in Albany, New York. And so it was really fun to see the Capital Region in Paint. It's always fun to see the Capital Region in movies. We're celebrating the 10th anniversary of The Place Beyond the Pines, which was filmed in basically entirely, almost entirely in Schenectady in the summer of 2011, came out in the spring of 2013. And so 10 years later, we have another movie now, Paint, with Owen Wilson, that's showcasing the Capital Region, made the top 10 this weekend. One of the bigger opening weekends for IFC Films, and one of the widest release starts ever for IFC Films. Made $750,000. I know some people in the Capital Region went to see it this weekend, and I bet the Capital Region had some of the highest per-screen averages for the film of anywhere in the country. I would bet money on that. So that's a look at your box office. I've seen several of the movies that come out this week. Suzumi, spectacular anime film. My full review is at lights-camera-jackson.com. Also going to share some review commentary at animationscoop.com this week. It opens Thursday. Go see it. If you're an anime fan, go see it. If you're a fan of deep storytelling in movies, go see it. Mafia Mama comes out this week. I cannot share any thoughts yet on Mafia Mama. I have seen it. I saw it last Monday. It was the latest Regal Monday mystery movie. Stars Toni Collette. I am not allowed to share my thoughts on it until at least Wednesday, so I will be able to do that. That is out in theaters this week. A film called One of These Days, which is on VOD and digital. It's a movie about this contest that this car dealership has in the South, where you got to put your hands on a truck, and whoever has their hands on the truck the longest gets the truck. It's a drama. It's a very interesting movie. I'll have more thoughts later this week, but it goes in some interesting directions. Do they all work? That's the thing. So that's One of These Days, which is coming out this week. Tuesday night, theaters nationwide, go see this Little Richard documentary, I Am Everything. I've seen so many music documentaries over the years where the artists themselves and the people interviewed say, this is the person who influenced all these other people. And then I see another music documentary and I go, no, this is the person who influenced all these other people. I watch this Little Richard documentary and I go, no, he is the person who influenced every artist who has come along since. He deserves credit. He sought credit. Incredible story, incredible personality. Little Richard, I Am Everything, documentary. See it in theaters Tuesday night before it goes to VOD on April 21st. And of course, another big movie coming out this week is Renfield, which I will be seeing with Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage. We'll see how much Nicolas Cage is in the movie. He's talked about in past interviews that he's not in the movie a lot as Dracula, but we will see. We'll see if it's a successful film. The Golden Oreos here. Happy Easter, LCJ. Thank you. In honor of the Mario movie doing so well, I wanted to ask what your experience with video games was growing up. Well, you know, I played some video games, but it's funny, and I haven't had really the chance to talk about this yet. I played a Mario baseball game with my cousin when I was younger. I loved playing this Mario baseball game. Yoshi's one of my favorite characters, and so I would play that a lot when I would see him. And it's funny, it did cross my mind when I was young that these characters look so good in CG form. Why is there not a movie? Why is there not a series with these characters? And now finally, some dozen years later, here we are with the Super Mario Brothers movie. So I didn't play a lot of video games because I was watching a lot of game shows. I was watching a lot of television, different series and movies, of course, when I was younger, and playing more board games or strategy games or activities and things like that. But I love playing this Mario baseball game. And I am thrilled now that kids and adults get to see these characters in CG form the way that I got to see it when I was younger playing this game, of going, wow, I want to see these characters interact in an animated movie or series setting. And now we have it with the Super Mario Brothers movie. So thank you, Golden Oreos, for that question, because I love being able to share that. Of course, happy Easter with the Energizer Buddy and the Peep here, celebrating Easter with us today with a record animation weekend and a record illumination weekend and big Easter weekends, big 5-day weekends. I think this 205 is one of the biggest 5-day opens ever. One of the Transformers, I guess, came close to that 200 million. It's just, Universal is over the moon today. Illumination is over the moon today. And they have to be thinking about a second one, which they probably want to come out like tomorrow. I mean, they really need to get this thing going to bring everyone back. I would say they have to get this out in 3 years. So you'd be looking at April of 2026 at this point, to try to get the Super Mario Brothers 2 sequel, whatever they want to call it. They got to be thinking about 3 years from now. They did that with Secret Life of Pets. They opened that just about 3 years after the last one. And the Despicables, Despicable Me 2 came 3 years after the first one. Sing and Minions, they had a little more of gaps in between. But I say they got to be thinking about 3 years from now, the second one. Yeah, it's got to happen April of 2026. Do they announce it tomorrow? Do they announce it Tuesday? Do they announce it later today as an Easter treat? They got to be saying, go. Go ahead. We've got Migration coming. We've got Despicable Me 4 next summer of 2024. And they've got a few other projects in the works they got to be thinking about. A second Super Mario Brothers movie for about 3 years from now. Mario is going to be #1 next weekend. It could be #1 all the way through Guardians of the Galaxy. It could dominate and probably will the entire month of April. There's some other big movies coming out in April, including the George Foreman biopic, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, Beau is Afraid with Joaquin Phoenix, Renfield this weekend. There are a number of big movies coming out, but none are going to match the impact of Mario until Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And it's going to be a big May with that. Book Club 2, which will do okay. Fast and Furious 10, Little Mermaid, and a few of the others in May. June is going to be big as well. Indiana Jones at the end of the month, a lot earlier in the month. Spider-Verse, Elemental, The Flash. July, Mission Impossible's on the way. Oppenheimer, Barbie. It's going to be a good summer. Ninja Turtles in August. So it's going to be a good summer for sure. Mario will dominate April, and then we'll get Guardians of the Galaxy to kick off summer on May the 5th. Mario will be #1 next weekend. How big will the drop be is the question. Because a lot of kids are off of school this entire weekend into next weekend, it will still have a big Friday and Saturday, I think, next weekend. Sunday, kids got to go back to school, maybe early in the day, not nighttime. I think it'll do, let's say, 146 down to 65. I mean, I could see it going as low as 65, but maybe it'll do better than that. Brandon Heaton says, really good movie, love Mario, love Illumination at the same time. Yeah, there you go. The Mario Illumination powerhouse duo right there. And the trailer for Migration, an original movie coming out at Christmas time, I think is very cool for families to hopefully enjoy that. Hopefully that's a fun movie as well. So yeah, I'm going to say 65. Maybe it'll be higher. If it's lower, that'll be very interesting. But let's go with 65. I'm feeling that for next weekend. Maybe it'll do better than that. Great. It's going to be #1. Renfield, maybe it'll do 10, 15. We'll see. Mafia Mama will make a few million bucks. And Suzumi could have a decent start. If there's enough buzz and attention, which there deserves to be because it's a spectacular film, this could do 10, 12 million, maybe more, depending on how many people know about the movie and want to go see it. And the anime fans, if they know it's really good, which they should know it's really good, then we could see a decent second weekend battle or second place battle between Renfield and Suzumi, with Air, which I could see dropping only to 10 million from that 14.5. I could see Air doing 10 million and actually a decent battle with Renfield and Suzumi. So next weekend's going to be pretty good for those 2, 3, and 4 spots, just like this weekend was very competitive. So we'll see how it all is. As always, go to Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson. The website is lights-camera-jackson.com. More interviews, Animation Scoop Q&As, podcast episodes, Too Fast, Two Films. We review Air. We also review Living with Chucky. That'll be up soon at toofast2films.com. Documentary on the Chucky franchise you can watch on VOD. And I'm on 99.5 The River this week and seeing some movies and have some cool projects and announcements soon. Thank you for watching LCJ Live. Happy Easter. Have a great day. And I will see you next Sunday for LCJ Live. Take care, everybody. Happy Easter. Bye-bye.